Good morning. How y'all doing today? Happy Friday. Okay, guess what? I did it. So Spirit has been nudging me to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's been really interesting because since all of this sort of stuff started, I hadn't been sleeping and I was always sort of up. Like I would sleep 2 hours and then maybe I'd go to sleep at 8 o'clock and wake up at 11 and then be up for the rest of the night and, do my spiritual work and do my studying and practicing my spiritual practice. And then I started taking those cell salts. I mentioned cell salts in a couple of videos. So about a month ago, I started taking my cell salts again. And the cell salts are the trace minerals that your body uses at the cellular level to stay healthy. So I started taking the cell salts and I started sleeping through the night. Like I literally just started sleeping through the night. And I would wake up and it'd be 7:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I slept. Like I haven't slept like that in ages. And so Spirit has been urging me to wake up at 4:30 so I could do my spiritual practice and have the video here to you all before 7 a.m., which I'm still working on, get my exercise in and all of that. And so I did it this morning. But yesterday, it's so interesting. I woke up to an earthquake and it was shaking. And I was like, oh gosh, it's an earthquake. And let me tell you guys, living in Los Angeles, earthquakes are no joke, okay? Like there have been times when I've just been moving through my house when I was a child or teenager and it would jolt. And when I was a Christian, I used to be like, oh my God, like it just felt like something supernatural was happening. And I would always think like, is God here or something like it just always felt out of this world. Like earthquakes are surreal because you cannot see them coming. And then they move the whole house. So yesterday at 4:30, I woke up shaking and was like, was like, oh, this is going on for a while. And I'm always thoughtful of if it's going to get bigger or if it's going to subside and go away. So while it's happening, I'll start to do like a breath work to bring the energy down just, as best I can, or to soothe the earth or soothe, the energy around so that it will stop. And, that's just my way. Who knows if that has anything to do with it, but that's what I do. So we had a couple of, and then yesterday when I was meditating, I felt a jolt, vroom, and I was like, oh, while I was meditating, a jolt happened and it was an earthquake. But all that to say, I got up this morning at 4:30 and I started my spiritual practice and I'm here earlier and I feel fantastic. Yes. So happy Friday. Today is a Venus day. I hope you guys are feeling fantastic. I want you to know that we are moving into like the most challenging experiences astrologically. And what that means for us personally is that we're going to be needing to do a great deal of self-care. Like self-care is going to have to become our most primary practice, our priority, like how we're caring for ourselves, our thoughts, our minds, our bodies. Everything is absolutely your responsibility, and you're going to have to do everything in your power to take responsibility for your thoughts, for your actions, for everything that you do. And there's this poem by Hafiz, and it says, everything you do is sacred. Everything you do is sacred. And to live your life like everything is sacred, because it's in that sacredness that you connect to something beyond the limitations of the ego, because the ego can only take you so far. So today is Venus Day. Venus is currently in Gemini. It is completely out of its shadow. And Venus in Gemini has asked us to reevaluate our relationship to ourselves, to our minds, our hearts, to others. It's really, Venus is about relating. It's about restoring ourselves. And Gemini is about our communication and our perception. So it literally is how you tell the story of relating. Like, if so, this, cycle in Gemini, with Venus and Gemini, I've had to let go of codependent relationships and belief systems that had me aligned into experience, that had me practicing unworthiness and scarcity and not really being true to who I truly am, and almost not even knowing, like, relationships that were blocking my capacity to even access who I am. I know that I have had a long-standing relationship with someone that I deeply love, and there was a thing between us that whenever I would step out of the comfort zone that we had, they would get scared and feel like I was doing something dangerous. And I understood. I really had compassion for it because I lived my life on the edge. I said that yesterday. I lived my life on the edge. But we're not all meant to be the same. And when you understand your astrology, you can live according to your divine blueprint. And that's what I've been doing. And the person that I was in close relationship with wasn't living in their divine blueprint. So there was an imbalance in the relationship, and it was just hard for us to hold the same frequency together. So that relationship had to go as it was. Maybe it'll come back again. I hope it does, actually, because I love them so much. But if it doesn't, that's okay as well. So Venus is it's about restoring yourself. And the moon has moved into Capricorn, and we are about to move into some really difficult energy. And like I said, self-care is going to be the most important thing you can do. And the moon in Capricorn is a isolating energy. It's about, really looking at your structures. Capricorn governs our external structures. And we had a new moon in Cancer almost 2 weeks ago, and we're moving into the full moon, which is going to be in Aquarius. So we are taking a different leap this month with the new and full moon. And so there's a lot of discomfort. We're being asked to stretch. We're being asked to push ourselves. We're being asked to take risks that we hadn't taken before. We're being asked to break ranks with conventional wisdom and ways of being. And Capricorn is conventional wisdom. Capricorn is external power. And so we're being asked to let go of the way that we have sourced and resourced external power up until now. And with this Venus energy, Venus Friday, it's like bringing the energy home to yourself. Like, what really makes you feel joy? What really gives you a sense of connection and purpose and value? And those questions are not easy. Those are real deep questions that you have to spend some time contemplating. If you want to, the Venus retrograde energy is complete, but if you want to take my Venus retrograde course, What You Won't Do for Love and Cash Rules Everything Around You, it's only $21, but it would help you. It would help you see what I mean around your value. And, the thing that's most important right now is that the Venetian energy is this lover energy, and it's this willingness to be able to absorb anything, right? To know that, that's the power of love. It truly is unconditional. And we think that love is, I don't know what we think love is, but the minute somebody is not doing what we want them to do, then we don't love them anymore. Oh, they did this to me. And that's not love. That's condition. And then we'll say, well, I got to take care of myself. That's bullshit. That's not love. Literally, your love is the lover energy, the Venetian energy, the Oshun energy, the Aphrodite energy. It's really love for the sake of love. It's like, oh gosh, I had this experience. I used to have this lover who I just adored. Oh my gosh. And I adored him because he was my medicine, and it was really hard to love him, but I knew that I needed to take the medicine that he was offering. And I just did my best to surrender whatever he was doing. If I didn't like it, if it was painful, if I judged it, then I really did it, because I needed to break my energy down. I needed to open up the capacity to be unconditional, to be deeply empathic, empathetic. And I knew, and I would be miserable with him, and then I'd be miserable without him. So that gave me a signal that I was in a rock and a hard place scenario, which meant that it's almost like that rock and a hard place scenario is like the cocoon, when you have to go into the cocoon and literally allow yourself to be made into something else, because there's nowhere to go. Like you've reached the end of yourself. And so I would have this experience with this partner of mine where I would reach the end, and then I would just allow myself to feel all the feelings, be with it as it was, not trying to change it, and ask myself, could I love myself and him through this experience? And every time I would be like transformed. It would be like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. And then I would overcome whatever the limitation was and be on to the next thing. And so that's love. That is love. And love is not about how things look or what somebody's doing or if you like somebody or not. Love is the force of the universe. And when you align yourself to it, you become invincible. And so you have to learn how to love everything. And you have to learn how to love and bend and bend and not break, right? Like I'm going to flow. I'm going to move into the experience of it and allow the energy to move through you, and you will expand. So that is the energy of today, because the moon in Capricorn is going to be really rigorous, and we're moving into the full moon. So the energy gets really intense. A lot of pressure will build as we're moving into the full moon. And so as we move into the full moon and you feel uncomfortable and those outer structures are tugging at you, to be the old person that you've been, to continue to do the old stuff, you really have to see yourself in it and then ask, what else is possible here? Just don't give in to the old way of being before you ask, what else is possible? And if you find yourself in the old way of being, just try to notice it and create space between yourself and it. Oh, I'm in an old pattern right now. Okay. Like that. I'm in an old pattern. Okay. All right, well, let me breathe through it and then ask, is there anything I can do to be released from this? Like what would I do? And maybe you need to take a bath. Maybe you need to do some breath work. Maybe you need to do some prayer work. Maybe you need to do some ancestral work. Maybe you need to move your body. Maybe you need to, really negotiate, change some eating habits or something like that, because sometimes the food keeps us programmed in the ways of yesterday. So with that, I'm the Moon Mama, you all. I encourage you guys to register for my Mars retrograde class. It's going to be so incredible. The first one, I'm going to probably do a series of 2, maybe even 3, but the first one is going to be on shifting your identity, which is what we need more than anything right now, to shift our identities into a new way of being. And then because today is Friday, I'm going to ask you to give me donations. Like, I love it when you guys give me love donations. My Venmo account is $Monique-Ruffin, Ruffin. And my Cash App is $Monique Ruffin. And I think here in my link tree in my profile, you can see where you can make a donation. Okay, everyone. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day. I love y'all so much. Peace. All right. Bye-bye.